Okay, so we do have a quorum.
Okay, thank you very much. So item number 2, we will go to general public comment, which should be on non-agenda items, but that are within the neighborhood council's subject matter jurisdiction. Each speaker will be allowed 2 minutes for speaking. Okay, and if you have already spoken for 2 minutes and want to say something else, please wait until other people have spoken and had their turn, and then we can come back to you. Thank you very much. Press 9, star 9 to raise your hand if you are on the phone, and press star 6 to unmute yourself. Thank you. Rosalie, can you see if anybody is wanting to speak?
I don't see any hands raised from our stakeholders.
Okay. Nor any phones changed, right?
No.
Raise a hand. Oh, yes, it does. Number 9 to raise a hand. Thank you.
And
Okay.
Joan, we may want to consider just going quickly to item 4
Okay.
to take those votes and then go back to our reports.
Administrative motions?
Yes.
Okay, all of them? Yes, okay, so we can vote on everything. How about the budgets and so forth? Isn't that also important?
Well, I think we'll still have a quorum and they take a little more discussion. So.
Okay, so then we will go to item 4A, approval of the February 13th, 2024 board minutes, followed by a vote. Do I have a motion to approve these board minutes? Anybody? Unmute yourself.
Motion.
Thank you, Keith. And a second?
I second, Frankie.
Thank you, Frankie. Okay. Is there any discussion, any changes that you've seen, anybody? So then if we're all happy with the board minutes as presented, then let us go on to the roll call or the vote call. Rosalie?
Joan Jacobs,
Yes.
Rosalie Preston, yes. Keith Pitts,
Yes.
Laverne Frericks. Oh, wait, I'll come back to Laverne. I'm putting her as a panelist. Keep trying to make her a panelist. Okay. Nita Stonehawker.
Yes.
Dave Trejo.
Yes.
Harvey Powell.
Yes.
Eva Cooper Pace.
Yes.
Marvin Bell.
Yes.
Oscar Ruiz.
Yes.
Frankie Mays.
Yes.
Craig Kusunoki.
Abstain.
Okay, and Laverne Frericks.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion passes.
Good, thank you. Then item 4B, approval of the February 2024 monthly expenditure report. I call for a motion.
Rosalie Preston makes a motion to approve.
I second.
Marvin makes seconds. Should we share the screen or can Keith just quickly go over the expenditures?
I do not know how to share the screening.
Can't share the screen, Rosalie.
Okay, thank you.
Can you share the screen, Rosalie?
Share my screen, you mean?
Yeah, because I can't.
Yeah, let's see. I've got to pull it up here.
I have it up on my computer, but I don't have the capacity to do it.
And neither do I, sorry. I think it only think it's only Miguel who can do that, who has that
I
capacity.
think,
That-
I
isn't it?
think Miguel and Rosalie,
Miguel and Rosalie, okay.
yeah.
Okay, I'm pulling it up on my laptop. I hope it opens.
If you hover over share screen, you should be able to like right click or click on it and allow other panelists to share their screen. And then that would allow Keith to do it.
Right, but I think on Zoom you have to have the permission or be in a certain position to do that.
Yeah,
to
no,
be
that's what I
host.
mean. Miguel or Rosalie should, as host or co-host, be able to hover over that share screen green button and right click or click on the side of it and then enable screen sharing for panelists.
Right, are you a
Yeah,
host?
it's
Rosalie?
not doing it, and I'm getting ready to get a new laptop. This one is giving me trouble sometimes, so. So Keith, if you
So
could just,
perhaps Keith could just go
yeah,
over quickly.
orally
for
go
us.
over.
Thank you, Keith.
Okay, we had a beginning balance of $23,552.28. Total spent was $2,124.31, leaving a remaining balance of $21,427.97. Outstanding, we have $964.19. We have committed $2,000, and we have a net available of $18,463.78. I'll skip down to, hold on. The expenditures. We had AT&T, we paid $69.55. In Motion Hosting, they're the website hosting people. We spent $215.88. The general membership location rental was $228. The website update monthly payment was $200. February rent, which was $670. Our general membership meeting flyers for January was $664.79. And the copier bill was $67.09, making it a total expenditure of $2,124.31.
Thank you. Mhm.
What we have outstanding is the interpreter still $200. We have the copier lease of $76.09 that is still outstanding. AT&T monthly telephone bill of $18.10 still outstanding, and the March rent for $670. Those things have been approved.
Thank you, Keith.
Sure.
And right, and then I call for a motion to approve the February 2024 monthly expenditure report.
Rosalie and Marvin already made the motion and second, so.
Oh, yes, we did. I'm so sorry. Yes, we're going on to item 4C, approval of up to 300.
So we have to
Oh, no, we
have the
need-
vote.
Roll call is what it is. The
Okay.
vote call, please. Thank you.
Rosalie Preston, yes. Keith Pitts,
Yes.
Laverne Frericks,
Yes.
Nita Stonehawker, Dave Trejo,
Yes.
Arby Powell,
Yes.
Eva Cooper Pace,
Yes.
Marvin Bell,
Yes.
Oscar Reeves,
Yes.
Frankie Mays,
Yes.
Will Yates,
Yes.
Craig Kusanaki.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Thank you very much. Okay, now we go on to item 4C, approval of the up to $350 to support the April cleanup day in District 7. Do I may have a motion?
Rosalie makes the motion.
Second, please.
Frankie second.
Thank you very much.
So I just want to explain that Barbara's out of town, so she couldn't be here today. We have discussed it a little. There still isn't an exact date in April, but and the cost is probably higher than what it will actually be. Most likely, I made an estimate for sandwiches and some beverages for about 20 volunteers and made it a little on the high side. So when she gets back, then we have to, work out a detailed budget and submit the event approval form to the funding for approval.
When is the date? Do you know which day?
No, we don't know which date in April. I'm assuming it's later in April so that we can have a full at least 30 days for funding to review and approve.
Right, right, yes, okay, thank you. So I request, I think I have that already. I call for a motion. Yes,
So the motion's been made and now if there's no other questions, we'll do
Rosalie,
been a long day for me, yes.
Rosalie, did you get Octaviano's email?
for today. I don't think I saw it, no.
Okay, well, for tonight, she's explaining that some people, their training has expired and they do not count towards quorum. nor
No,
do they.
yeah, no,
Okay.
I'm aware of all of that, so,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Okay, so if there's no questions on the motion,
Can I ask a question? Because I feel like with the funding requests, like we have to have our T's crossed and our I's dotted in order for them to be funded, or they get denied and sent back and keep us to do more work. It feels like we're approving 350 without an actual plan. And so I don't know that, like, it doesn't seem like this is ready for a vote. I know that it doesn't, like, it won't be more expensive than that, but this feels like the first time I've been on the board and we're making a vote for something without anything locked in, so much as a date, or anything like that. It feels different than other votes we've made. And I know it's not a huge amount. It feels like we're voting for something without a plan or someone to speak on it.
yeah, well, I did make an estimate for just for the sake of the budget for 20, I believe 20 sandwiches from one of the sandwich places. I always forget the name that we've used in the past, and then some amount for sodas. We do have some bottled water, and in case we needed to get a little bottled water, so it probably would not, once we can work with Barbara, the final budget probably will be quite a bit less and it'll be more exact. I did ask her if she thought about trying to do some flyers, and she thought that, we could print the flyers ourselves and have volunteers distribute them in the area. I imagine the cleanup is going to focus on San Pedro under the 105 freeway in that area. So we could probably have the 118th Street School help with some of the flyer and advertising. So it's probably going to be less. I just wanted to put in a little more in case we're also going to pay for chips or something like that. But
Also, Dave, we do have to get it in if this is planned for April, then we do need to have it in 30 days before the for the department to approve the funding for it. The exact day in April, I don't think matters very much. Insofar as April only has 4 Saturdays or something. I don't think that's a problem, is what I'm really saying. As long as we have the funding, and we are definitely preparing for April. We're not preparing to go earlier than that. If there are any changes to the plans we do have, then it will just be put off, and we would come back at our next meeting and do another vote on this, the change of either the amount. If it's more money, then we do have to have another vote. If it becomes less money, then it doesn't matter. That's okay.
Got it. And then just for clarity's sake, when and before funding is released, Keith would have to submit more of an itemized request.
Laura will.
No, this is fine.
Definitely, yes,
Oh, does he?
definitely. Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. Once Barbara's back, we're gonna work on a detailed budget. The event approval form must be filled out.
Oh, send it to the department. Yes. We have to
Yes,
have detailed.
and all that has to be
detailed for the
submitted
department. You're quite right.
for review, yes.
I thought you meant coming
Okay.
back to the board with it again. No, but
No,
to get
No,
the
no,
money
no.
approved,
no, to
yes.
get funding,
Yes.
all of the information would have to be precise as
Yeah.
far as what we are paying for.
Yeah, that's
It
absolutely
just seemed like
true.
yeah, it just
Okay.
seemed like an interesting precedent. But yeah, I'm okay. I can move forward. But I see hand-
I have my hand up.
Eva,
I'm not clear on all of this. I thought that when we got called for the question to vote, that all of these details were nailed down, and it doesn't sound as though they are. In that regard, I will change my vote to abstaining.
Okay, that's fine. When we get to the vote, you can do that.
Because
okay.
this,
Are there
this,
any
this,
other?
yeah, this still sounds kind of up in the air and willy-nilly.
And
Well, I don't think that it's-
Lou Watson has her hand raised.
Lou? Hi, Lou. Are you able to? Oh, yes. Lou, could you unmute yourself?
I don't see how to do it. Okay.
Oh,
There you
yes,
go.
you are
just
unmuted.
did. Oop, you were just unmuted.
Oh, now you're muted again. Are you on the telephone or on your computer? I'm, on a computer type thing.
You managed to unmute for a second there.
Lou, you have to move your cursor down to the bottom of your screen and then you'll see your button show up.
Okay, so I'm sorry, did we vote or did we not vote?
We're getting ready for the roll call now.
Question, and Lou has a
This
comment.
is the
We're waiting
question
her.
for $350 for a cleanup for District 7,
It's up to.
up to $350 for a cleanup for District 7 that has no date.
Right, it's really to cover
April.
the refreshments.
Uh-huh. But we don't know exactly what their cleanup entails, right? Without
don't
Barbara
think-
explaining it?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be around the San Pedro area, maybe 118th Street and 116th Place near the 118th Street School. So, and they'll,
Okay.
they'll ask Council District 15 for assistance in getting the brooms and shovels and trash bags, etc. And pretty much, I think all we're gonna cover is the sandwiches or other refreshments and beverages.
Okay, I think Lou is unmuted now. Lou, can you go ahead and ask your question or your comment? Thanks.
Can you hear me at all?
Perfect.
Okay. No, I've been trying to unmute myself, but this was way back for the minutes, so I'm just gonna let it go. Because it's
Okay.
now you've already voted on the minutes and I had a correction and I had a request, but that's okay.
Lou, please email because we can edit that afterwards.
Okay, it's something very simple, but I can say right now, I would like for the pages to be numbered for the minutes. And I'll tell you what the correction is. I'll call you.
Or email, thank you.
I'll email you.
Can we do that if we, I mean, can we do?
Minutes
that
can
without-
minutes can always be corrected afterwards, yeah, for minor stuff.
After the vote?
Yes,
And we voted on it and approved it?
yes,
We don't have to say approved as corrected?
no,
Or
Okay.
approved with necessary corrections.
no, we do not. So-
Yeah, we could do something like that. Okay.
Okay, so let's do the roll call on the cleanup.
Okay, good. Please go ahead, Rosalie. Thank you.
Rosalie Preston, yes. Keith Pitts.
Yeah.
Laverne Frericks,
Yes.
Nita Stonehawker,
Yes.
Dave
Could somebody
Trejo,
mute themselves who has
Yes.
that background noise, please?
Arby Powell. Arby Powell,
Well, I'm gonna say, abstain right now because it's not.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
Eva Cooper, Paige,
I abstain also.
okay. Marvin Bell,
Yes.
Oscar Ruiz,
Yes.
Frankie Mays,
Yes.
Jackie Jackson,
Yes.
Will Yates,
Yes.
Craig Kusanaki.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion passes.
Okay. So then we'll go back to
Number
item
3,
one, right? Item number 2, yes. No, we had item number 2. And item number 3, a report from the LAPD, who I think I saw earlier is here.
Yeah, it says Officer Martinez.
Ah, yes, thank you, Officer Martinez.
Hi, okay,
Welcome.
real quick, hope everybody's doing well. We've been pretty active, this last month and the last few weeks. Mr. Trejo, just to start off with, I really, really appreciate all your, gang graffiti, what you've been sending me. I've been forwarding it to my captain and to, our gang officers and to my Sergeant Spangler. South Bureau wants to know about all the gang graffiti that's happening and what's going on. As we talk about that, let me jump into something real quick. There's been, I talked to our 2 gang officers that work Southeast Division, and they're currently assigned down there in the south end, my area. So I guess it surrounds the Gardena area. We're talking about on the Gateway. And they had a shooting let me get the information out. There was a homicide on March 3rd, and it was over at the make sure El Diamante Sports Bar. That was at 120th and Figueroa. And apparently a South Los individual was shot in the head and was killed. Very unfortunate. Later on, there was a retaliation down there in Gardena off of Marine Street in Vermont, where an individual wearing a green shirt. I talked to Gardena officers. They said he was unfortunate. He wasn't a gang member. He's more like a transient, but he was wearing a green shirt. And Gardena 13 identifies themselves with wearing Green Bay Packers colors. and he was shot. I don't know the status of him, of what happened there, but right now they're looking into it. They're looking on what's happening. They're um, as far as the schools in the surrounding area, nobody's really involved with that, but they're working with our captain. They're doing write-ups to see if we can get extra patrol down there. They're meeting with store managers and store owners, and they're handing out business cards for any additional information for them, for the officers. But they're being active down there, and I'm requesting extra patrol from our officers also to get down there. But Dave, thanks again for all that graffiti information. It's horrible that you have to report that, but it really helps us out too. And I keep everything and I forward it. So right now, that's a homicide that occurred, and we're kind of looking at the 2 gangs that are involved. So we're keeping an eye on that. And anything further comes out, I'll try to reach out to the Harbor Gateway and to the community also. And then what we've been working on in as Slow 97, 130th and 132nd Street. Last week we had some cleanups. There was a couple hiccups in the cleanups, but we did do one of the business districts on 130th Street. We cleaned the sidewalks. These are cul-de-sacs right off Figueroa, the 500 West block, and they're saturated with motorhomes. So I'm working with CD15, and we're going to try to get them removed. But we did clean up the area, and I don't know if Lou, I don't know if Lou had a question or not, but if you could just hold off and I can answer questions afterwards. But so real quick, we cleaned up that. And then today, myself and a fellow SLOs, we work with Council District 8. We removed 3 motorhomes off of Imperial Highway and Hoover. I'm sure some of you have seen those. They've been there for a long time. So outreach, everything was done. It was a picture perfect day today for those. Everything was coordinated by CD8, and we handled those pretty good. So those were removed. Also, there's another incident. I don't know if you guys have been seen on TV. His name, it's already blasted out there, but John Ross, he lives in the Merritt Tract down there in Gardena. It's our jurisdiction, LRPD. But anyways, it was a couple weeks ago, he hit a postal carrier. And the news, it got on the news and they posted it. I took a battery report for the individual, but if anybody's concerned about that incident, he's in custody, and now the federal officers for the post office are looking at it as a federal crime. So they're going to try to keep him behind bars and eventually maybe file charges on for that. But we still have a battery open investigation that we took on him. And then we have several trespassings also. So, but right now he's in custody, and so we're keeping an eye on him. He really goes into the neighborhoods, and he's always trespassing at night. There's a lot of single individuals that live over there in the Merritt Tract, so we're really concerned and providing extra patrol and working on that. And then also we just been working with senior leads with the cleanups in the surrounding area with Council District 15 and 8, and working with LA Sanitation, Safe Harbors and everything. I don't know if somebody was trying to talk right now, but just hang tight real quick. And then other than that, I have that right now is what I'm really focusing on, are the motorhomes, the encampments, and we're trying to find, I think I talked to Miss RV Powell about an individual on the 700 West block of 132nd Street. He's behind, living behind some houses in the alley. And so we're trying to identify him. And I know Arvy's been helping me putting out his information or a description of him. So if anybody has any information on this individual, 700 West block of 132nd in the alley, he's staying behind a couple houses over there. I really could use information on that. And then one thing I did want to announce, we're going to have a town hall meeting on Tuesday, March 19th, or next Tuesday at 6, from 6 to 9. It's going to be at Gardena City Hall. It's located at 1700 West 162nd Street, Room E. Rosalie, I will send you the flyer. I would hope everybody could come. I believe our captain will be there, and Chief Tingarides will also be there, and a couple guest speakers, but the Sheriff's Department will be there, Highway Patrol. I believe the mayor from Gardena will be down there. So there's a lot of people down there, and we'd love to hear the concerns of the community and the business districts. We're going to try to do periodically. We did one last year very successful, but I want to hear from the community. So if you can really blast this out, I'd appreciate it. We've already started doing that also. But as for me, that's what I have going on. I know any questions or concerns?
I don't see any hands raised.
Oh,
Rosalie?
Oh, I have a question, Officer Martinez.
Yes, Harvey.
Do you guys have a bulletin where somebody can look up missing persons?
I believe we do. We be on the lookout type bulletins. We do. Some are for public use, some are for internal. I would have to, we'd have to find out who you're looking for, and I can maybe kind of go through archives and look, help you out on that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Are there any other?
Dave Trejo has his hand up.
Thanks, Rosalie.
Thank you, Officer Martinez, for forwarding over and following up with
No, thank you, Dave.
the graffiti things. I'm wondering if well, one, I don't know if I should refer it more to Nicholas, but and the Koster's office. But the first one I would say is I'm hoping that you all, because there's a lot happening on Gardena Boulevard, that you can take into account the dismissal times of Gardena Elementary and then of my school, Environmental Charter Middle, for the sake of just having increased patrol on Gardena Boulevard during those times, because the frequency of gang activity on Gardena is high, and it is happening at dismissal time. And so I'm wondering if you all can take that into consideration, Gardena Elementary and ours.
Absolutely, Dave. I appreciate that. Hey, Dave, just send me an email of the times, and I can I can put it out there. And then, Dave, do you attend those collaborated meetings with all the principals that we have in LA downtown? I believe it's a Damali school or a Dimali, or I'm not saying it right, but one of the high schools down there where we have it monthly. Officer Gutierrez Lowe does it.
I don't know that I've ever been invited because we're not LAUSD. We're
no, I know you haven't. Yeah, I know you're not LSU. But let me find out with Gutierrez if one of your representatives can take that would be awesome for you guys to attend. This way, you had a lot of good stuff to share on your email. I really appreciate all that stuff you put down. That's good information, and I would love to share that with other principals.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I just want to take Gardena Boulevard's been active, and then Gardena Elementary. I see them. The Boys and Girls Club walks over to pick them up every day, and walk them over to the Boys and Girls Club. It'd be nice to have just extra patrol during that time.
Yes, sir. Okay.
And then the other thing I was going to say, maybe it's for Nick, but I don't know who runs graffiti abatement, but like I keep going back to using 311 data for folks to just make the rounds and not wait for 311 reports. If there are areas like a heat map of the most graffitied areas in the Gateway, can we have people drive them on a daily basis, whether or not they're reported? And if they're not reported, then GAP can log that they did it. And that way the turnaround time and how long it stays up gets truncated. I don't know if you have any guidance on that, or who I should make that advocacy for.
You know what? I can look into it with Nick, and I can see if I can contact GAP and find out also. I'm like you. When I do see it, I report it. I usually do it with 311, and then I put that I'm an officer, and then I request like special attention because it is gang graffiti, and I usually get a pretty quick response. But let me find out if they can do like a routine patrol down there to keep it maintained.
Yeah, MTA does something similar on their lines. They have people that travel and just like the most frequently graffiti areas, and they self-report. But like I'm sure the data exists, and I see Nick's hand, so I'll defer to Nick.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, real quick, just to address that. I know GAP, they have they kind of split their work into areas. So I forget the name of the person who does kind of that Gardena Boulevard area. But I know a lot of the times they're, responding to tickets. So I don't know if really they would have a lot of time to do proactive work, but I'll reach out to their supervisor and just kind of let them know. I know they're very responsive to the tickets, and like Officer Martinez said, you know, when it, especially when it's gang related. But I'll get a better answer for
Okay.
you.
Yeah, they're super responsive, and there's a lot of same day activity if I report it by 7 a.m. But God forbid that it gets reported after 7 a.m. It's going to be there when kids go to school, and it's going to be there when kids leave school. And that's the part that like I think is a shame. And so I'm sure that the response to tickets is heavy, but even if it were something that when there's time and tickets are not as heavy in an area, that they drive certain routes proactively without waiting for a ticket or submitting the ticket on their own. I feel like that's something that hasn't been done, and like somebody can make that decision. I just don't know who that is, and that's what I'm asking for, so I can lobby to that person. I know the current status quo is that that's not being done, but I don't know who makes that decision because I'd like to speak with them.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions or for Officer Martinez? Okay, if not, then we will continue with the program. And is there anyone here from the mayor's office?
Nicholas.
Sorry?
No, Jocelyn is here. She's,
Yeah, but she skipped Nicholas.
She's what?
oh,
skipped-
Council District
Yeah,
15.
you skipped CD 15.
I'm sorry, Keith. I'm not understanding what you're saying. Could you say it really slowly?
You skipped CD 15.
I know, because I went to LAPD, because I know they sometimes have,
Oh.
it can't stay so long.
Okay.
But, and I wasn't sure about mayor's office, whether they could stay that long, but otherwise, yes, by all means, CD 15, please.
Hello, I'm on here. I don't know, did you guys already skip me?
Who are you?
Hi, I'm Jocelyn from the mayor's office.
Ah, okay, mayor's office. Thank you, Jocelyn.
Yeah. Hi, sorry, I'm actually at another neighborhood council meeting that's still meeting in person, so I'm trying to juggle both meetings right now.
Great. Thank you.
Can you guys hear me okay? I'm sorry.
Perfectly.
Hello?
Hello, yes, we can, very well.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I'll go ahead and get into my updates. First, I just want to start by giving a huge shout out to the entire neighborhood council for their support. We did have a Inside Safe neighborhood discussion last month, or like a couple weeks ago now, to kind of talk about the Inside Safe operation that our office did at Hoover under the 105 underpass, which is still clear today. So we wanted to have a neighborhood discussion around it to let the community know what happened the day of the operation, and also how the community can be in contact with us if it does pop up again, to make sure that that location stays clear. So huge shout outs to the neighborhood council for their support. I know there was a few board members there who attended. I know you guys shared it on your website, which I really appreciate. And huge shout out to Mr. Bell, who actually spoke on behalf of the neighborhood council to talk about the partnership, with the importance of the partnership with the mayor's office. I know we had CD8, a representative from CD8, who spoke on about the day of the operation and how much it meant to their office and how much it means to have a partnership with the mayor's office around Inside Safe. And also, huge thank you to CD15 for their support as well. I know they were on the call and helped share the information as well. So huge thank you to them as well. Another update that I did want to share is that yesterday actually marked the first day of 311 week. So the city is hosting a competition amongst the 15 council districts to see which council district can increase their use of 311 the most. So please, if you don't already use the 311 app, and again, you can download the app, you can call 311, or you can use the website to report or request city services. So please, if you don't already use it, please do please download the app and please share it with your family and friends. It's really important. If you see a pothole, if you see a street light that's out, if you see graffiti, if you have a bulky item and you need it to request for it to pick up, please submit that request. This is vital when it comes to allocating funds and when budget time comes around, which is, I think the mayor is actually going to be releasing her proposed budget next month. So it's creeping up on us fast. So I really want to make sure that our district is represented. I did look up the top 3 council districts that submit 311 requests the most, and our district is not one of them. So I would love to see our district up there. So please, if you don't already use 311, please do. And then also, I do want to just share that I do presentations or workshops, I don't know how you want to call them, on 311. And these are both in English and Spanish. So please, if you have a community group, a parent group, a group of students that meet regularly that you think could benefit from learning about 311, please let me know. And I'm more than happy to come and do a presentation with them. Another update is that the mayor did swear in Chief Choi as the new interim chief of police, making him the first Korean American to ever lead a major city police department in this country. And that happened on March 1st. And then another announcement related to public safety is that we are seeing an increase in the amount of applicants to the police department. So in January last month, we had 1,200 applicants apply to the police department. And that's a 2-year high. So we are seeing an increase of people applying to the department. I'm not saying that's enough because it isn't, but the mayor is stressing the importance to continue to increase our recruitment efforts. Because as we all know, we are very low on officers and we need to get our recruitment numbers back up. And then I know this is so long, so I apologize, but another update that I did want to share is that the mayor did lead a delegation to Sacramento a couple of weeks ago, where she met with the governor, and they were able to, or they announced that they were able to secure $300 million in reimbursements. At 60 million of that is related to our response during COVID-19. And then after she returned from her trip to Sacramento, her and the governor did sign an agreement to work together to help keep our underpasses clear, which is great because I know that's that's something that we definitely need in our community in the Gateway. So basically, what this means is that the city can now go in and clean up those areas and then have the state reimburse them, or Caltrans reimburse them. So great news there. And then this past week, the mayor did lead a delegation in Paris, France, where she met with the mayor of Paris, because as we know, they are going to be the hosts of the Olympics, and we are up next. And 2028 might seem like a long time from now, but it's creeping up on us fast and we need to be ready. So the mayor did meet with the mayor of Paris to kind of talk about what they're doing to prepare for the Olympics when it comes to housing, homelessness, small business, youth, and everything that they're doing to see what we can implement here in the city of Los Angeles to be ready for the Olympics. And I'll stop there because I actually have a lot of updates, but you can also find the other information from our office in the newsletter that I did send out, and tons of information and resources on there. But yeah, that's all for my updates, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there questions for
Just a quick comment.
Yeah, Rosalie, I just wanted to ask on the reimbursement from Caltrans. Would that apply to the areas along the freeways on each side of the freeway? Because we have a lot of issues, particularly with the 105 Caltrans areas.
Sorry, I was trying to unmute myself. So what the agreement says when the announcement was made is it says areas near the freeways. So it's not very specific. So I apologize for that, but I'm more than happy to get details. But from the language, it seems like that it would include that. But I can get clarity on that for you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Right, this is Frankie. I have a question. What about the lights for the underpass, freeway underpass on Main? Is anything being done? That
Sorry, it cut off, so I'm not sure if she finished asking her question.
Yes, I was trying to ask, are they doing anything for putting lights under the 105 underpass on Main Street?
So that would be for Caltrans, but I think that would be a question for the council district. I know they have an initiative happening to install new lights under the underpasses. I'm not sure if that includes Stat Street, but that would actually be under the state.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, caller with phone number ending 726 has a hand raised. Can you unmute yourself?
Hi, Mr. President, Officer Hamoka from Southeast. Hey, just to touch on the Main Street underpass, is that for the past year, it's been kind of a hot potato between CD15 and Caltrans. But I think the agreement that they came to in the fall was that Caltrans is not actually a Caltrans issue. It's going to fall with the city. And I do know that Nick's been working on it diligently to try to get that corrected. I will follow up with him in an email actually tomorrow to kind of see the progress of that on that. But I know he's been trying to get that fixed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we can move on to the next reports, CD15.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Nicholas, and I'm the Harbor Gateway representative for Councilmember Tim McOsker. So really quick, before I kind of go into a few of the things I plan to talk about, I just wanted to go back and answer some of the things that were brought up. First of all, for that April dump day that you guys are planning, keep in mind, we can work with sanitation, and by we, I mean the council office. We're able to get dumpsters and any kind of, equipment and things like that. So just let us know ahead of time the date, and we can arrange for all of that free of cost. And then also just to speak on, I believe it was Frankie's question. Officer Mocha kind of touched on it, but with the street lighting, and with our underpass lighting in particular, it's been very difficult. So one of the things that I'm sure both Officer Martinez and Officer Hamaoka have noticed is the streetlight vandalism has been really bad. I remember a few months ago, we worked with the Bureau of Street Lighting to get the lights underneath the 91 in Figueroa fixed. And the other day that I went by, they're out again. So, we submitted more tickets, but, right now, the Bureau of Street Lighting, they have kind of massive delays on street lights being fixed just because of the sheer amount of volume of vandalism and theft that's occurring, and kind of the tampering with the electrical boxes. So on the council front, I know they are already looking into solutions. In October or November, the Bureau of Street Lighting put out a call for innovation, and they accepted basically ideas, and they kind of looked into studies of other municipalities to see what is working and what kind of technology is sustainable. So I know there in some areas of the city, they've been piloting a solar lighting program and just different measures to kind of move away from the status quo. But that's all in progress right now. So in the meantime, I just do encourage you to, report those street lights. I know with RV, I was going to report that the lights on kind of that 133rd area between Hoover and Vermont were fixed. And that turnaround was, I believe, around 90 or more days. So I know it is very frustrating and, it does affect public safety. So areas like that, we're going to prioritize, and we work with the Bureau of Street Lighting to make sure all of that gets fixed quickly. But going back onto what I wanted to address in the report, I wanted to start with the community plan update. It was approved by the City Planning Commission. I did want to thank Rosalie for her public comment down at the council chambers. But for those unfamiliar with the community plan update, the Harbor Gateway, Wilmington, and then also Harbor City in our district are all undergoing community plan updates, and it's kind of an update for the zoning of properties. So I know there's been a lot of legwork done by the planning department over the past 5 years. It was approved by the Planning Commission, so now in the next few months, it will move to the City Council's Planning and Land Use Committee, and then after that, if approved by the Planning and Land Use Committee, it will go towards the City Council for a final vote. So most likely it'll be somewhere in mid 2024, if not later 2024. And then kind of going back a little bit as well. So similar to the street lighting, what I've also noticed just in the past few weeks has also been kind of vandalism of metal plates. So I know we had that issue at right in front of 118th Street School. It's just kind of a little maintenance cover from DWP that was stolen. And as I've kind of went around the area, I've noticed in different places in the Gateway and also just in our district as a whole, there's kind of been an uptick in theft of metal plates. I believe, I forget who told me, but someone mentioned they were also trying to steal. They saw someone attempting to steal the metal plates that they use to cover the roadways when they're kind of doing utility work. So for that, I also encourage kind of how Jocelyn said, we want to increase the use of 311. So something like that can be reported. It can be reported as a general street inspection. So I know there's a tab and a category for that. And a lot of the times, once 311 receives a ticket, preferably if you have a picture of the incident, it's better. And they'll be able to reach out to street services and they'll identify which utility is responsible, whether it's LADWP, whether it's kind of a SoCal gas panel. They'll be able to go through the utilities and make sure those plates or maintenance covers, whatever it is, are repaired. And also another thing you can use 311 for is for, tree obstructions. So I know recently on right at the corner of the northwest corner of the 118th school campus, that street light that was there, it was being obstructed by a tree that was overgrown. So we were able to get urban forestry out there to trim the intersection and make it safer for the drivers going eastbound on 118th to be able to see those lights clearly. And I did also want to touch on our Clean 15 team. And for those that are unfamiliar, our council member in the past budget cycle, he got us funding for our own clean team. And they did present at the in-person meeting a while back. So they've been very active in the Gateway, in particular in those underpass areas. So I know the Stanford underpass with the 105 is a common area, and also 117th and Athens Way. It's kind of a common area too, where there's a lot of dumping. Officer Hamoka and I, kind of been working together, and I know he's been able to get a lot of illegal dumping cleared up, and he's had some interactions too with people that have been caught illegally dumping. So I want to thank him too for his work on that part. But our clean team is still out, all throughout the gateway, and also sanitation as well. They work kind of hand in hand. You guys did meet Nicholas also from sanitation. I forget his last name, but he was the altered shift supervisor. So a lot of the times the work that the clean team isn't able to do, or just the day shift sanitation isn't able to get done. Nicholas Fuentes, sorry. His altered shift team that works in the afternoon, a lot of the times they're able to clear it up. So I'm very grateful and appreciative for them. We have a really great working relationship right now. And also, I did want to mention as well, there's going to be 2 streets that are going to be resurfaced. So starting tomorrow, 117th between Main and Spring. Starting tomorrow, March 13th to Friday, March 15th. Street Services is going to be reinstalling the speed humps. So when the street was resurfaced a while back, the speed bumps were removed. But now that the asphalt has settled, they're going to reinstall the speed bumps there. And then additionally, 118th Place from San Pedro to Main, starting on Thursday up until next week, Monday, it's also going to be resurfaced. So all of the neighbors should have received notice, but I just want to, make sure all of you guys are aware of that. And moving on to the next thing. On the topic of speed bumps, I sent out kind of a mass email to everyone in my network that LADOT has opened up speed bump applications. So I sent the link to the neighborhood council. I would put it in the chat, but I don't know if it looks like it's disabled, but the links are with the neighborhood council. I think they've already blasted it out. But I do encourage anyone who's interested in applying to get it done as soon as possible, because the deadline is already on the 21st. So I know it's a quick turnaround. They only gave basically everyone 2 weeks to get those applications in. But just so you're aware, the minimum requirements for a street to be eligible for the speed humps, it has to be a residential street, and it can only be 1 travel lane in each direction, and it needs to have a speed limit of 30 miles per hour or less. So I do encourage you guys to go on the website and fill it out. Also, because you need to get signatures from 4 residents that are on your block, basically supporting this. So once you apply, the application is going to be citywide. So normally DOT is bombarded that day with applications from all over the city. And it doesn't mean that, your application will be selected, but the sooner that you're able to get the application in on the 21st, the better. And from there, throughout the next year, they're going to evaluate those sites, and they'll basically, the Department of Transportation will follow up with which sites are selected all throughout the city. And lastly, I did also want to bring up the Port of LA has opened up their investment grant program. So this grant is specifically for 501c3s, so for nonprofits. But if you know anyone that, or if you yourself have a nonprofit, I encourage you to apply. One of the kind of parameters though for this grant is there has to be some sort of nexus to the port. So it could be health related, it can be construction related. An example is there's a nonprofit operating in the Harbor Gateway North that they do welding. They teach people how to weld. So something like that is a direct nexus to the port and their workforce. But if you do have any questions about this, I will make sure I get the website out to you, and I'll make sure I send it to the neighborhood council. But they are having a workshop on April 10th. So if you're unsure if you can apply or you just want more details, you'll be able to join them on April 10th, and the applications aren't due till May 6th. So there's still about 2 months to be able to get those applications and those grants in. But that about covers everything that I wanted to report on. So if anyone has any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them right now.
Hi, Nicholas. This is Frankie. I have a question. Will the streets that have schools on them automatically receive speed bumps?
So I do know that the city council last year, they did approve a measure for installing speed bumps, particularly around schools. But I'll have to follow up. I mean, obviously it's going to take some time and a lot of funding to get every school in the city done. But I do know there was kind of legislation already for that to happen. So I will follow up with those details. I don't have that right on hand, but I'll make sure I get that back to you by next meeting.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
Nicholas, related to that, I think sometimes where schools are, the school is the main resident in that area, and so it's a little more challenging to get signatures if the school is like the main resident there. So that's a bit of a challenge. But if there's a different way for schools to lobby for them, that would be great. The other thing that I was going to say related to it, and now my brain escaped me, so I'll have to come back because I'm having a brain lapse.
Oh, Nicholas, this is Rosalie. I just wanted to ask, you know, the street lights that are going up the ramp to the 110 freeway? Are they Caltrans or are they LA City?
Which do you have like a particular?
Yeah, because about a week or so ago, I was traveling in the evening, getting on the 110 freeway at Redondo Beach Boulevard going north, and I noticed a number of the lights were out there. So I've been meaning to report it, but I wasn't quite sure which agency.
Okay. Are you I'm looking at it right now on the map. Are you referring to the lights that are on the ramp that kind of?
It's on the ramp going on, but also just as you get on the freeway, there's about 3 of them that were out.
Okay. Yeah, if it's anything on the freeway, it would be Caltrans. If it's any of the lights that are on Redondo Beach at that traffic intersection, it would fall under the city.
Okay, I'll report to Caltrans.
Okay.
Nick, I remembered what I was going to ask. The residents' signatures, do they have to be property owners or can it be apartment residents?
It could be apartment residents. So I believe I sent you the link directly. So
yeah,
it does,
I'm on there.
okay, yeah, so it does kind of have some guidelines. So they can be residents as long as they live on that block that would be in support of possible speed humps.
Got it. Thank you.
And then yeah, also I'll have to get back with you, Mr. Trejo, because what I was mentioning as well about that legislation for speed bumps around schools, I have to follow up if that was strictly LAUSD or if something like environmental charter and charter schools and private schools would be included. So I'll get back to you with those details as well.
Thank you.
Okay, the person whose phone ends in 583 has raised their hand.
This is me, Rosalie. I'm sorry, I got disconnected and it says they cannot connect me back to the meeting. So I'm just on the phone. So if you or Keith, well, I guess Keith could take over only because it's a little difficult from here on the phone. But yeah, if you'd prefer, I can continue on the phone.
Yeah, go ahead and continue. I think we're finished with
All the
that.
report.
Yeah, so now though we have,
I heard Nicholas.
yeah, we've had Nicholas, but let's see. I think now we're up to Phillips 66. I don't think anyone's here from LA County Supervisors District 2, so it's
Nancy Perez, Phillips 66, right?
yeah, actually it'll be Nancy's here, but Lola Owalabi is going to be the speaker. So
Thank you.
Lola, if you want to start and.
Okay.
All
We
right,
will-
good evening. Just want to double check, is it possible to share my screen or no?
Well, we hope. We tried earlier and we were having technical difficulties.
Okay.
I don't know.
Rosalie, if you can make me host, I can do the Zoom controls. I'm quite familiar with them. We've run millions of meetings or thousands of meetings as during distance learning. But as a host, I'm confident I can enable them to share a screen. Or yeah.
Who is that?
Yeah, that's Dave Trejo, but I don't know, when I hover over his name, I don't have the ability to make him.
Oh. It might only be Miguel then.
Dave, only Miguel can share, as far as I know, to make a host.
Well, I'm a co-host and Miguel is the host, so.
But he
Miguel-
can't.
Might have, yeah.
Have a co-host.
If Miguel's not there, and you can't kick him off, it'll Rosalie would have to be the host to empower others.
Exactly. Yes.
So I keep pressing share screen, but it'll allow me to share, but I can't seem to.
Okay, that's okay.
Oh, wait a
Yeah.
minute. It says multiple participants can share simultaneously. So let me click that. And why don't you, do you have the ability now to?
I don't see it.
Because I clicked on multiple participants.
If you make her a panelist, she should be able to. Because I can do it now, Rosalie. You did something right. You did something that worked.
Okay,
But,
Lola
you might have
is
to make her.
She is a panelist. Isn't she? Let's see. Oh, no, I have to make her panelist, I think. Okay, I'm promoting Lola to a panelist. So, yeah, so she should be able to share now.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, great. I think it should work now. Hold on. This one. Yeah. All right, so can you guys
got
see my
it, Lola?
screen? Great.
You got it.
All right, so my name is Lola Owolabi. I'm the environmental team lead at the Phillips 66 Los Angeles Refinery. And I'm here to talk to you about an improvement project that we need to complete at the marine terminal that's in the Port of LA. Okay, so this project is required. We need to comply with the California State Lands Commission's initiative. And this initiative applies to all of the existing marine oil terminals in California. It's not unique to 66, and it requires us to upgrade our berths to meet the current safety standards. So this project has many benefits. Ultimately, it will reduce the likelihood of potential risks during earthquakes. It will minimize the chances of spills and enhance the war fire protection measures. So the main goal of this project is to construct a brand new MOTEMS compliant facility at berths 150 and 151. And MOTEMS simply means Marine Oil Terminal Engineering and Maintenance Standards. These standards have requirements regarding structural analysis, seismic analysis, fire protection systems. So we have existing wooden docks at berths 150, 151. These berths have not been used since 2008. So this upgrade is essential so that we continue our long-term operations at the terminal. And the project will not result in any sort of expansion at the terminal or the refinery, because to do that, we'll have to go through a separate CEQA permitting process with the Air Quality Management District. So ultimately, we're maintaining our existing operational capabilities. So this project requires approval by the Board of Harbor Commissioners, and we need construction permits from the port, which is considered a discretionary action that triggers CEQA review. CEQA means Environmental Quality Act. So the Port of LA, they're doing this review. They have to analyze the project impact to the environment. So they're completing an environmental impact report. So the draft of this document is scheduled to be released sometime in the second quarter, potentially April of this year. And there will be a 45-day public comment period, and we would appreciate your support of this project during this period. Ultimately, the port will respond to all of the comments that are received, and then the final environmental impact report will be prepared and presented to the board for approval, and that could potentially happen third quarter of this year. Okay. All right. So just want to give you a little bit of information about the project location. The project site is in the Port of LA, like I mentioned, and over on the right side of the screen, you can see that at the terminal, we have facilities that include about 26 storage tanks. And then we have a concrete wharf, which is berths 148, 149. And that's what we currently use to conduct our vessel transport operations. The berths I was talking about earlier, berths 150, 151 over here. So those berths have not been used since 2008. They're in dock, and that's where we need to upgrade our berths to be MOTEMS compliant. Any questions before I move on to the next slide?
Yes, I have a question. What's the draft, the number for so if one wants to look up the EIR or something, what's the number or the name of the document?
Okay. Yeah, I can send you that information after this. It's over. I don't have it right in front of me, but I can easily send that to you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, next slide. So you can think of this project in 3 phases. The first phase, we're going to do minor upgrades to this berth that we currently use, berths 148, 149. And the upgrades include just, making improvements to the fendering system for docking the ships and barges. And then when that's done, we'll move on to the demolition of berths 150, 151, where we're going to construct a new MOTEMS compliant berth. And then the last phase will decommission berths 148, 149 as transfer berths. So ultimately, our long-term plans are to use this new MOTEMS compliant facility at berths 150, 151, and then we'll just limit the use of these berths to occasional storage of harbor equipment just to reduce congestion in the channel. Okay. Now, just more about the benefits of this project. You're looking at the new structure of BERTS 150, 151. This is what it will look like. So it'll be constructed of reinforced concrete, supported by steel. The new structure will have a brand new loading platform facility. We'll also have a new fire protection system, hose handling equipment, manifolds, spill prevention and response equipment. We'll also replace the existing loading hoses with better technology. So we'll be using pipelines that have modern articulated arms, and that will reduce the potential for leaks during the product transfer process. We'll also have an upgraded bumpering system right here, and that will prevent damage to the ship or the dock structure when vessels are at the terminal. So overall, we're going to have an improved and safer product transfer operation at the terminal. And I also want to emphasize that this project will provide additional employment in our community by using the California Trades labor for construction. So the present and future use of our terminal will not change. We'll continue to receive lube oil from ocean-going vessels, offload them into trucks for distribution within a 15-mile radius. The projected number of lube oil trips in the CEQA document is shown to be slightly greater than the baseline count, but in reality, this number is not increasing because we used a projection that was based on the highest number of trips in recent operational history, and that was back in 2019. So we've done this number in the past. Now, other products that we transfer include intermediate feedstocks, and those are just materials that must be further refined to make like your jet, your diesel products, and those are transferred through pipelines to and from the Phillips 66 refinery. So we also have vessels with products, like I mentioned, for delivery to consumers. We import renewable diesel for delivery to gas stations in California. And I want to emphasize as well that no crude oil is handled at this terminal because that is not allowed by our South Coast Air Quality Management District permits. So over here on the right side of the screen, you can see some numbers. The 23.8 million barrel per year number is a maximum number that we had to include as part of the CEQA process. So we provided a range of throughput numbers. The high end of that range is a 23.8 million number, and that translates to about 371 per year. Again, this number is a conservative estimate. It's based on potential future business needs. It's a number that's based on existing capabilities at the terminal. So it's definitely not a primary project. So just to summarize a couple of key points, this project provides the California State Lands required MOTEMS upgrades to the terminal. The LA refinery provides jobs to nearly 700 households, indirectly supports thousands of good local jobs. This terminal is considered an essential part of our portfolio. Crude oil is not transferred at the terminal because it is not allowed by our permits. The project does not expand the terminal. It does not expand the refinery. We're maintaining our existing operational capabilities. And starting next year, this wharf will be required to comply with a future California Air Resources Board regulation. And the goal of that regulation is to reduce like NOx emissions, diesel particulate matter emissions from the engines of ocean-going vessels when they're docked at the terminal. So Phillips 66 terminal will definitely be in compliance with this regulation when it's effective. And then the last thing I wanted to touch on is we're in the process of proactively meeting with local neighborhood organizations, just to ensure that we're answering your questions and maintaining an open line of communication throughout the process. So please feel free to reach out to the number, our 24-hour community awareness hotline if you have any questions. And if you have any now, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Yes, I have a question. So where are they gonna be piping the oil from the refinery over here over to the docks, or is it from the dock to the oil storage?
So we already have existing pipelines that go to and from the refinery to the existing berths, which is 148, 149, which is what we currently use. So when we do this project and we bring back these berths right here, 150, 151 back in service, all we need to do is just reroute those pipelines from berths 148, 149 to 150, 151.
I have a question.
Yeah, Eva, go ahead.
You said that those berths were discontinued in 2008. For what reason were they discontinued?
So back in 2008, I believe they completed an audit and determined that they were not in good position to be transfer berths. So that's why they were decommissioned back in 2008.
And I have a question. So the existing pipelines that run from your berths at the port up to your facility just east of our neighborhood council, do those pipelines run pretty much in a straight line so that really there is no direct impact to our neighborhood council area?
Well, that will not change with this project. I don't know that they run in an absolute straight line, but whatever configuration they're in, that will not be impacted by this project.
But is there a map on your website that shows where those pipelines are placed?
We can provide a map. I can follow up with a map for you.
Yes, it would be helpful if you emailed us the map and also this PowerPoint presentation. Thank you. And
Okay.
and the link to the draft EIR if anyone
EIR.
wants to. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, I have one more question, ma'am. We have one of the refineries next to, you're not too far from us, and I had reached out to the community people about cleaning up over there because there's some railroad tracks over there, and the train goes over there, and on I should say the north side of the area, it's full of trash and everything. And I have reached out to the community people and they said, oh, that's the city. And I know this is probably not your department, but I think they're really not engaging with the community to really get that part cleaned up because it's right in front of your property, the company's property.
Okay. Are you talking about
Yes.
our lubricant? Exactly what property are you referring to? Is it?
It's on 135th and Broadway.
Oh,
Let
it's
me
our,
look at that.
okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's our lubricant plant that's in LA. Yes. Okay.
Yes, that one over there. Other people have reached out, to the city and everything to say they're gonna clean it up. And I reached out to the representative person that's working, with the community, but they kind of dropped out. And
Okay.
so it's an eyesore. And like the other station across the street directly from there, theirs will look really nice. It's nothing, no trash, well kept. And I don't know what's going on with the one on that the other side. They got one side all good, the other side all terrible.
Absolutely. We'll follow up on that.
Please do. Please do. because it's just, they got homeless vans over there, and I'm a little far from there, and I'm sure, all the people in the community don't want to see that. And plus, God forbid, the train comes and, we don't want nothing to happen, trying to prevent it.
No, I absolutely understand your concerns and we'll follow up on that.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Arvi. I don't know if you guys can all hear me, but my name is Nancy Perez. I'm the Senior Public Affairs Advisor at Phillips 66. I took a note of what you mentioned, and we'll definitely look into it and make sure to get back to you on it.
Okay, thank you.
So if there's no other questions, we can move on to, we thank Phillips 66 for coming, and we can move on to Octaviano Rios from Department of Neighborhood Empowerment.
I did have a question, which may have been.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Yeah, I had a question for the previous speaker, which may have been answered already, but I wondered, what is renewable diesel? I thought all these oils and fuels were unrenewables. Am I misunderstanding?
I don't think there's still, oh, Nancy is here still. Nancy, can you answer that
Okay.
question? It did mention in the slide something about renewables.
Yes, it did. It said that this was for renewables, renewable energy, and then in another slide, I was able to, obviously, finally, I got back onto the screen. So, and then also Lola mentioned it was another slide that mentioned the renewable diesels. And I don't quite know what renewable diesels are, nor renewable oil.
Yeah, it looks like they've gone. So we'll
okay, no problem.
We'll ask those questions of them.
Yes.
They can answer.
Yes.
So
yes, thank you. And just carry on, Rosalie. With asking Octaviano is Octaviano here?
yes, let's see.
Okay. I don't remember seeing him earlier, but
He's an attendee.
Yeah, I'm moving him to panelist.
Thank you.
Okay, Octaviano, you should be able to speak now. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Perfect, thank you.
All right, perfect. Well, good evening, Harbor Gateway North Neighborhood Council. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I'll try to be brief. I know you had a few reports here and you have additional items on your agenda. Again, my name is Octaviano Rios. I'm with the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment. I'll start off with one of the awesome trainings that the City Attorney's Office, Neighborhood Council, Advice Division, held in partnership with our department, which is the Neighborhood Council President Training on the Brown Act. It's been a long time coming. I think the last Brown Act training that was held was in 2022. And that recording is available on our website, empowerla.org, for anybody to view. But hopefully your neighborhood council was represented at this last training in late February, I believe it was held, where the NCAT team was available there to share the facts about the Brown Act and how it applies to neighborhood councils. Just building that rapport and that relationship with the city attorney's office. When you need them, they're there to provide that legal advice. When you do have a conflict of interest or suspected conflict of interest, or your board chair can reach out to them whenever there is a legal matter or concern that affects the whole board. An exciting event that's coming up, March 28th, is the department's Women's Leadership event, March 28th from 6 to 8 at City Hall. There's limited capacity, so it's first come, first serve, I believe, when you register. It's going to be held at City Hall in the Tom Bradley room. And when have you been there? It's a fantastic space, very, very old school, glamorous, wonderful view of the city in different directions. And a lot of wonderful events are held there. And this great event is going to be held there to highlight the positive leadership and advocacy work that the women in the neighborhood council system do every single year. And boards are able to nominate individuals to be recognized. And if you have anybody in mind, go to the RSVP link that was sent out through the NC profiles and nominate a person. No guarantee that they're going to be exclusively selected, but I think it's still an honor to be recognized by your peers, even if it is just among your neighborhood council. There's so many different ladies out there, and young ladies as well, that are involved in the neighborhood council system that have done some wonderful work for so many years. So keep that in mind. So the nomination deadline is March 15th, and the event again is March 28th. Homelessness liaisons is it continues to be a big theme, a big focus for City Hall, for different agencies, including the mayor's office and the council office. And the department continues to encourage our neighborhood councils to appoint at least one homelessness liaison and to register their information on a special form that we have linked up on one of your NC profiles that went out. If you need that link, let me know, and I can certainly send that to you. And just a quick reminder that the deadline for bylaw amendments is fast approaching, April 1st. And if you need any assistance or need the application, again, let us know. I know one of the biggest challenges is folks trying to activate that Microsoft highlighted feature to mark what's been changed within the document. So if you need help with activating that feature, please let us know.
Octaviano, I sent you what we voted on last month, but I don't know that you saw it.
Oh, okay. Did you just send it this week?
No, last week or
Last
the
week,
week
okay.
before, yeah, so.
We'll check. Okay, thank you. Well, I'll check my email, and if I didn't get it, or if it went to another folder, I'll reach out to
And
you.
I don't think I did it right, and I didn't have that application form, so.
You know, and even if you don't have that feature, I tell people just take the shortcut and just highlight that word or phrase or paragraph that you want deleted or removed, and just
Yeah,
highlight.
it's pretty clear. One of the issues is that we didn't know, well, you'll see in the email that
Okay.
because we're now meeting by Zoom, if some wording needed to go into one of the sections, and so we didn't know if the department had some standard language on that, or the way it's worded already includes that.
Got it. We'll take a look at it, and if we need to continue collaborating, we will. Thanks, Rosalie. And I think that concludes my report on my end. You know, I know some folks have some expired trainings. For the most part, most of you have all of your trainings done. So thank you for being on top of that. But if you need any help for those that have some expired trainings, difficulty logging in, or you forgot your password and need that get that reset, let us know. I know it's kind of a clunky platform for many of us to kind of navigate. A lot of steps, a lot of clicking, a lot of digging sometimes to get to some of these to renew your training. So let us know if you need some assistance with regards to that. And I saw on your agenda that you continue to weigh in on the city budget based on submitting your priorities as a neighborhood council. I think that's awesome. I applaud you for continuing to do that. Many folks think that the city budget is such a huge animal to tackle, and it's beyond them, but it really comes down to your needs in your neighborhood, and the neighborhood council is in the middle of that and listening to the concerns of your stakeholders, and as well as listening to each other as stakeholders yourselves. So thank you for continuing that tradition every year to submit your priorities to the on the city budget and through that council file. And that's it for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Octaviano. Okay, are we?
Lou had
Haven't
her
done
hand
number
up.
5 yet, right, Rosalie?
Right,
have-
but Lou has her hand up, I think.
Oh, okay. I can't see anything again on my screen, so thank you. Lou?
Yes, can you hear me?
Perfectly,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you. Octaviano,
Yes, Lou.
there are 99 neighborhood councils. How many women will, is there a total number to this, to the award that, the nominations?
That's a good question. I'm not sure if they're capping the number of women that are going to be recognized at the event, but they're not limiting the number of nominees of folks that you feel should be recognized. And I think that's important too, to be able to submit even within your neighborhood council, women that you feel have done some awesome work while serving on a neighborhood council. And I know there's something else planned beyond that whoever doesn't get selected to get that special recognition at the event, there's going to be some ongoing or planned for ongoing recognitions throughout the next few months. So don't quote me on that, because I know that it's still kind of in the works, and I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else who would like to say or ask anything of Octaviano?
Doesn't look like it.
No, okay, thank you.
Oh,
right.
Eva, are you trying to speak or?
No, I'm sorry. I just didn't put my hand down.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So Rosalie, have we addressed item number 5 already?
No.
Okay, should we go there next then?
Yes, our revised fiscal year budget.
Thank you. Okay, so approval of the revised 2023-2024 fiscal year budget. I call for a motion.
Rosalie makes the motion,
I
Thank you.
second.
Eva,
Thank you.
and Keith should be able to share now.
Great.
So I wanted to point out that it's only slightly revised from our previous revised budget of September, just to
Okay.
update a few of the line items.
Yes, if Keith would just tell us where it's been revised would be excellent. Thank you. Are you able to share, Keith?
He has shared, yes.
Oh, okay, I haven't got it on mine. Okay, I'll try and close this. Okay, yes, I've got it now. Thank you.
I'm trying to get this out the way, this cancel, that it'll make me leave the webinar if I do. Rosalie, can you just
We
go
have it
over?
here, I think.
Yeah, but,
Revised March the 12th, yes.
right,
Thank you, brilliant.
which part did we change, Rosalie?
Well, we added in the
The
egg hunt under outreach. We added in the egg hunt.
And the t-shirts.
The t-shirts and the retractable banner. So
Right.
that just made the amount for the outreach less. So it went down from whatever it was to 4,700.
I'm confused. You said you just added two items into the outreach and then it's gone down?
Well, the
understand what you're saying.
category that says other outreach events, activities, that was reduced
Ah, thank you.
because
Yes, now I
we
understand.
detailed some of the expenditures.
Yes, great.
And under the office operational, well, there's, I think, we have a little more accurate on the LAUSD permits. Now that we know.
And I believe we included the business cards this time.
Yes, the amounts for the business cards, and I reduced the office expenditure, the office supplies, because, it's getting near the end of the fiscal year and we could see we're not gonna be buying much else, and so then that maybe went down into the other outreach events, activities.
Okay.
I made the refreshments for meetings, I think, a little more accurate. We just kind of updated what we'd already spent, because there was something that funding, as Keith knows, they're so particular. Something that we spent and they said, well, yeah, that line item really didn't cover it, and they wanted us to update all the line items. And we have this amount under Konica Minolta copies. And we have to find out, because so far Keith has only been getting the invoices for the monthly copier lease. But previously, under the old contract, maybe, I think quarterly, they would ask me to run the count of how many copies we'd actually made, and it, gave an amount for black and white and color.
I
And
don't
then
even know that it was that frequent.
it was quarterly.
It was quarterly?
It was
I don't
quarterly,
remember
yeah.
it being that frequent when
But I
was
haven't
there.
seen anything.
No,
Okay.
and we haven't gotten that, and I want to check with someone. I guess it would be in Dunn who coordinates that contract, because it could be that when the city rewrote the contract, that the copies are included, but
It could be, but we don't know.
We
So
don't know. We need
let's
to
find
find
out from
out
Dunn. Right.
before
Thank
the end of the fiscal year.
you. Thank you. That's lovely.
And I think, and then we, at the bottom, under neighborhood purposes grants, we already had the 500 for the National Night Out support at our Southeast Police Station, and we added in the reading.
Reading
partner.
Partners.
Yeah.
That was just approved today.
Yes, that we had a whole issue with funding.
God.
Oh boy, it's the amount of work that you have to put in behind the scenes to get these things approved is incredible.
No, I do know.
So,
Okay, thank you. I see we still have our money from the Clean Streets Awards.
yes, we
A lot
have
of
to
it.
figure out how to, because after all the work that Miguel did on, you know, the beautification of Stanford Avenue, under the 105, it came really close, and then there was one last approval that Caltrans would not approve, even though it really has nothing to do with them, but.
Right, it's very
So,
frustrating.
yeah,
Oh,
so therefore,
it still isn't spent,
no, nothing, and therefore we couldn't use some of that money, so,
but we will try and use it next year.
right. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. That's very helpful. Does anybody have questions about this updated budget? I see no.
Was Eva has a hand, but I don't know if that's. 'cause
Okay, Eva, do you have a question?
No, I do not.
Okay, thank you. Do you see any other hands, Rosalie? Oh,
No, so,
really, I've got hands. Yes. I mean, I'm able to see that there are hands or otherwise. Thank you. Okay, so then let's go on to the position letters. Item
so
number.
therefore, we have a motion, so we need
Oh,
to
yes, we do. Thank you.
vote on this revised budget.
Yes, I call for a
Okay.
motion. Who?
So Rosalie made the motion, Eva approved, so I'll do the roll call. Rosalie Preston, yes. Keith Pitts,
Yes.
Laverne Frericks,
Yes.
Nita Stonehawker,
Yes.
Dave Trejo,
Yes.
Harvey Powell,
Yes.
Eva Cooper Pace,
Yes.
Are you there?
Marvin Bell,
Yes. Okay, I meet you.
Oscar Ruiz,
I found you
Yes.
Frankie Mays.
Yes.
Is Jackie Jackson still here? Yeah.
I'm still hanging.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Elijah's not eligible to vote on this. I think Will is gone. And Craig Kusanokii?
Yes.
Okay, so the motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, passing on to position letter 6B, approval. Oh no, we're going on to approve 6A, approval of a letter on the neighborhood council, our neighborhood council priorities for the 24-25 fiscal year budget. So may I call for a motion?
I make a
Or
motion.
do you even know what this letter is about? I mean, yeah, haven't seen anything on these yet.
We'll make a, yeah, let's do the
We'll talk
motions
about it
and then we'll
afterwards.
discuss
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you. Keith.
Marvin,
That was Keith.
Marvin, no,
Oh,
Marvin.
Marvin, I'm sorry, Marvin. Thank you. Okay, so that was, I have second. Anyone
I'll
second?
I'll second.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Yes.
So
now we will talk about the letter.
yeah, so that,
Thank
yeah,
you.
people need to review it and see. Arby has already commented, there's a couple other things she would like to see in there related to her district.
Yeah, so it's gonna be added on, or you want me to go over, or you already?
Yeah, well, I'll just mention, I'm gonna add in on,
Yeah, yeah,
under
yeah, 'cause-
transportation, Department of Transportation, the traffic signal, funding for the traffic signal at Rosecrans and Menlo, and
the traffic
traffic calming at Hoover and 135th, which has been approved, but
but
and
yeah, they
maybe
always talk about the funding, you
funding,
know.
right?
Yeah, and also,
Cleaning of the
the,
alleys.
yeah, that also, and also keep the, Hoover, trimmed up and everything.
Yes, the Hoover Avenue Parkway from El Segundo to Rosecrans.
You know what? I forgot. I need to add one more as I think about Vermont also. Vermont Avenue, from El Segundo all the way down to Rosecrans, because sometimes it gets weeds and people be doing illegal dumping over there also.
Oh, you mean the little parkway space in front of the,
Yes, and also in front of the place where they're gonna be doing the housing for the people. I can't think of
yeah,
the,
see, that's not, that parkway is controlled by the county of Los Angeles.
oh, in front of the hotel where they're gonna put the where they
Yes, yeah,
remodel, that's
yeah.
the county?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, only
okay.
the little narrow strip that goes from 135th to 140, whatever that street is.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But then, well, okay, so we gotta contact the county about that, about them keeping that part in the front, because sometimes I see they have litter and overgrowth over there also. In front of that place where, I
So
can't
it
think
is
of,
their parkway, or are you talking about the one that runs right down the middle of Vermont?
well, I know the middle of Vermont, that's Gardena, the tree in the grass, but I'm talking about the one that's in the middle between the street on Vermont and also the residence.
Where there's some parking?
Yes, yes, the
Yeah,
parking.
yeah, that's Gardena, LA County.
Oh, no, you talk about the middle. I'm talking about the other little strip that people have, it's over between. It's in the middle, not the middle of of
Well,
Vermont.
we'll work it out. If it is in the city, then we'll mention it.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Would this be the right time to mention like the street repairs on Vermont, Figueroa, and Redondo Beach?
Yeah, we used to keep that in our budget, but we'll just put it, yeah, since Redondo Beach and Vermont are really bad, we'll put it under
Yes.
street services, the new.
Is this where the budget everybody consider if we put down and make our needs known and everything on this letter? And it goes to CD 15 and
Right,
the mayor's
and to
office
the
and everything.
mayor, right.
Yeah,
Because
because
her budget is coming out, her draft budget will come out next month, so. So anyone else have anything specific that we should add in?
Can I just send it to you? I'll give it to you tomorrow.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
I pretty much took our last year's letter and just kind of shortened it
Okay.
to make it, some of the items stand out. I mean, occasionally a few things get done from year to year, but it's a little discouraging how much just not. Okay, if there's nothing else, then we'll
Then we-
say the revised budget letter,
Thank you.
and
Does
we
this
can,
include the street paving? I know you have this, sidewalks. The tree plantings needed, but under the Bureau of Street Services, talk about sidewalk repairs, etc. But does this include the repaving of the roads?
no, that's where Dave mentioned a couple of the worst ones.
Because it's
Under-
really pretty bad on that, what is it? I think it's either Estrella or Gonzalo, I think it is, just to the east, or just to the west.
Oh,
of-
right, yeah, okay,
Awful.
we'll mention that. It's
Okay,
because of
thank
the liquid amber trees that were not removed soon enough and
Okay.
have badly lifted not only the sidewalks, but the street. Okay, otherwise we'll do roll call.
Thank you, Rosalie.
Okay, so Joan Jacobs,
Yes.
Rosalie Preston, yes. Keith Pitts,
Yeah,
Laverne Frericks,
Yes.
Nita Stonehawker,
Yes.
Dave Trejo,
Yes.
Harvey Powell,
Yes.
Eva Cooper Pace,
Yes.
Marvin Bell,
Yes.
Oscar Ruiz,
Yes.
Frankie Mays,
Yes.
Jackie Jackson,
Yes.
is Elijah, did he leave, I think? Yeah. Craig Kusanokii.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Then the second level letter of approval, 6B, approval of a letter to Caltrans on prioritizing assistance with homeless encampments along the 105 Century Freeway. And I call for a motion.
I'll make the
Rosalie, okay, Keith makes the motion,
And a second.
I second it.
Harvey,
Yeah,
Thank you.
second.
And are there any questions on this letter? Or,
so,
yes,
Officer Amoka, I believe, is still here. He had suggested that we write it, and I don't know if he saw a copy, but I don't know if I should read it out. I know that
here we are, yes.
I know that Miguel mentioned that on the second page, we should add in where we mentioned fencing around locations that would help discourage encampments from forming. And I added including near the Avalon Sea Line Station area. Because Miguel pointed out that's a problem.
Okay.
But Officer Hamoka, I don't know if you saw the letter in our email and if you had any comments.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi,
Thank
okay,
you.
perfect. Hey, first of all, good evening, everyone. And I just want to say thank you so much to the board for putting this letter together. I will say shortly after my first talk with at the general meeting, I touched base with Robert, and it's trending in a much better direction. I don't know if anyone's checked the Broadway in Maine and even San Pedro, it does look better. But I do still think that drafting the letter is important. And so I've read it and it looks great. Thank you.
Okay, I was wondering if he had a supervisor, and it did mention in your emails, there was some other person mentioned. I frankly, I emailed both of them and they never did respond, but so we'll just go with what we have and I just want to point out that our representative from State Assembly Member Mike Gibson's office is on listening in, June Aglepe, and he mentioned that their office is going to have a meeting with Caltrans later this week to touch bases. So
Yep.
he's also going to bring up the issue because there are also some issues along the 110 freeway with homeless encampments. They're not as bad as the 105 area, but they're, and we just kind of wanted to know what the process is when Caltrans learns about the encampments, and I understand that they do work with the city and LASA on the, and I guess law enforcement, but as our mayor's representative Jocelyn Dominguez mentioned earlier, when there's an inside safe operation, we learned from the workshop that, you know, many agencies are involved, and I believe Caltrans is involved with those. So one of the ideas is that maybe we should get another one of these sites besides Hoover and the 105, maybe another site to the east as an inside safe operation. So, so June, did you want to mention anything further on the letter?
Yes, thank you so much, Ms. Rosalie and Mr. Chair, Miguel, for sharing email and the letter. And definitely, you know, it's just so perfect. I mean, you guys were talking about Caltrans issue whatsoever, and I know we're gonna definitely gonna meet this week and definitely address that. And I know if anyone is unfamiliar or familiar, there's always what they call the CSR, the customer service receipt, you know, just in case if you see anything from a graffiti to homeless encampment, you know, you feel free to at least, you know, put that in the CSR, explaining it, the geographic location, the date, things of that sort. And usually Caltrans will, when they see that, they would notify you that this is your ticket number, and of course, and they'll you know, acknowledge that they receive it, and then pretty soon they will definitely let you know that it's been addressed and taken care of. So they're really pretty much good on that so far, and that's pretty much I can say from there. And I believe Treasurer Keith Pitts is in listening too, right, Mr. Keith? Are you there?
I am.
Congratulations once again. Last month. You know,
Thank you. I don't think they know. I'll make the announcement. Could you ask Moses to he spelled my name wrong on the award.
Mr. Keith, I am one. I am Moises June Aglepe, and yes, I took care of you.
Good. Okay, thank you, Moses.
So when we see each other face to face again, give me the old one, I'll give you the new one and all that.
Okay.
Yeah. You know. But other than that, I do. Sorry to be off. What's it called? Off the track. But I do want to acknowledge that the assembly member will be doing a couple of things in event. I think there's one for a tax preparation that's going to be happening this month, and then next month, we'll be doing an expungement also on April 4th, and then a tax preparation. One of my colleagues has the date, but please feel free to call our office 310-324-6408 if you want to have I think you know, for tax preparation, tax done whatsoever. Call our office, ask for Ida. She's taking the lead on that one. I myself will be taking the lead for expungement along my colleague Dion Arnold. So that will be on April 4th for the expungement. And that, ladies and gentlemen, of the magnificent board of Harbor Gateway North and guests, is pretty much my thing. But yes, definitely, once again, take care of the issue and bring it up on the Caltrans meeting.
What award did you get, Keith?
I was recognized for my work in the community for Black History Month.
Great, well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And thank you for doing that work.
So if there's no other comments on the letter, I'll do the roll call vote on the
Okay, thank you.
Caltrans. Joan Jacobs,
Yes.
Rosalie Preston, yes. Keith Pitts,
Yes.
Laverne Frericks,
Yes.
Nita Stonehawker,
Yes.
Dave Trejo,
Yes.
Arby Powell,
Yes.
Eva Cooper Pace,
Yes.
Marvin Bell. Oh, looks like Marvin's left the meeting. Oscar Ruiz,
Yes.
Frankie Mays,
Yes.
Jackie Jackson,
Yes.
Craig Kusunoki.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Okay, thank you. So also I would like to, I don't know if Officer Hamaoka had spoken at all or if he had a report he had prepared, but I know I had not seen that he was there. So Officer Hamaoka, were you wanting to give us a report at all?
Sure, I'll keep it real brief though, because I know everyone
Okay.
probably
Right, thank you.
yeah, so I'll keep it real brief. Just want to let you guys know, in the area of Harbor Gateway that I have, I had a total of 6 reportable crimes over the last week. And our part 1 crimes are anything from like burglary, property crimes, all the way up to a homicide. So 6 for the area that I have is trending very well. So I'm happy about that. The biggest trend that I happen to see, just there's no specificity to it. It's more just kind of random crimes, but that's along the Imperial Highway corridor. One last thing is that our senior lead office has been working really hard on doing ongoing task forces to address quality of life and ongoing crime in our area. And over the last 7 shifts, I'm going to give you guys a little recap of what we've done. So we've assisted in 10 encampment cleanups. We've been able to offer housing to 47 unhoused individuals and provided about half of that, 20 of them, to referral services. Although parking enforcement isn't our primary focus, we do try to help out where parking enforcement can't. So in that vein, we've been able to issue 107 parking citations and impound 46 vehicles. And these vehicles are usually abandoned vehicles or vehicles that have been, they're broken down, they're missing parts, and they're a road hazard. We were also able to complete 45 requests for service, and that can range anything from graffiti requests all the way to cleanups to bulky items and whatnot. On the enforcement, on the community service side, we completed 2 coffee with the cops and 1 walk a cop. And then on the enforcement side, we were able to enact 20 misdemeanor arrests, 5 felony arrests, and confiscate 2 guns off the street. And this is all within the past 3 weeks. So we try to stay busy. Again, if you guys have any kind of special focus that you would like us to tackle, please let us know. We try to work that into our task force to be able to be as effective as possible. And with that, if anyone has questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions for Officer Hamaoka? Any hands, Rosalie?
No, unless Eva.
Okay, thank you. So then, committee appointments. a Public Safety Emergency Preparedness Committee appointment.
Rosalie Preston would like to be appointed to that committee.
Okay. Do I have a motion? I will make a motion that we appoint Rosalie Preston to the Public Safety Emergency Preparedness Committee. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Are there any questions anybody would like to ask or any comments? I see no hands. Okay, let's go on to the vote. If you would take the vote call, please, Rosalie.
Joan Jacobs,
Yes.
Rosalie Preston, yes. Keith Pitts,
Yes.
Laverne Frericks,
Yes.
Nita Stonehawker,
Yes.
Dave Trejo,
Yes.
Arby Powell,
Yes.
Eva Cooper Pace,
Yes.
Oscar Ruiz,
Yes.
Frankie Mays,
Yes.
Jackie Jackson,
Yes, yes, yes.
Craig Kusanagi.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Thank you very much. And item number 8, any board business and announcements, reports from the committee chairs.
So under board announcements, Will Yates, our outreach rep, has had to leave the meeting. But we met with our field deputy, Nicholas Chavez, and some others on Monday morning to start discussing a planned business breakfast, focusing on the businesses along our Figueroa corridor from El Segundo down to about 149th Street. And we will, once things are more finalized with them, we'll also invite some of the ones on Redondo Beach Boulevard and Gardena Boulevard, maybe even Imperial Highway, just to see. But the idea is to be able to listen to any concerns they have and also make them aware that there is a neighborhood council and the various city services that are available to them. And the Harbor Area Business Source Center will be involved, and Karen Bass's office also.
Okay, thank you. Okay, are there reports from committee chairs? Any committee chairs have a report? I see no hands. Okay, then are there any other announcements apart from the fact that the Neighborhood Council Budget Day is June the 15th and will take place at City Hall? Anybody else? Nothing? I see nothing. So then I will adjourn this meeting at, and I can't see what the time is. So if somebody would like to mention the time. Oh, 9:16 p.m. Thank you. Thanks, Keith. Just found it. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, as they say. And next time.